Watching animals come into this world is definitely one of the most amazing things to see. Now, watch how some creatures put their smarts to the test.
A black cat crossing your path is a bad omen, right? Well, a new study has found that if ill-fated events do occur after being in the presence of a feline, those very animals might help solve the crime. The research specifically looked at cat fur and its unique ability to compile a list of anyone the cat has had contact with. Science Alert reports that a cat's fur can retain enough DNA shed from someone nearby to both place them in the same area as the cat and identify them, with the researchers concluding, quote, "These companion animals can be highly relevant in assessing the presence and activities of the inhabitants of the household or any recent visitors to the scene." Researchers found DNA on 80% of the cats tested and were able to generate a DNA profile on 70% of them. And on more than a quarter of the cats, they discovered DNA profiles of unknowns. DNA evidence has become the increasingly superlative crime-solving tool used by law enforcement in recent decades. And DNA found on surfaces called touch DNA doesn't even need to have been touched to end up there. It can be passed by flakes of skin or drifting hairs, or apparently by pets. It's well documented that dolphins are some of our planet's most intelligent and majestic creatures. But now a new study published in the journal Science Advances reveals dolphins don't only communicate vocally, but also with their urine. The researchers found that as dolphins were swimming with their mouths open, they would taste the urine from other dolphins. With the study's lead author Jason Brooks writing to AFP about the findings, quote, "Dolphins keep their mouths open and sample urine longer from familiar individuals than unfamiliar ones, and they sampled them for around 3 times longer on average. But why? The researchers outline how in the ocean, urine streams can remain for a while, even after the dolphin has since moved on, and finding streams of familiar individuals would allow the dolphins to find them again, even without any vocal indicators. But that's not the only thing they were able to uncover about the dolphin interaction, with the team also writing, "Given the recognition skills revealed in our study, we think that it's likely the dolphins can also extract other information from urine, such as reproductive state, or use pheromones to influence each other's behavior."
When two people get in a fight, it's likely someone empathetic would intervene to lower the heat of the discussion. Well, pigs do the same. An Italian study from the University of Turin concluded pigs, like many humans, are smart enough to recognize conflict between others and diffuse the situation. They have the cognitive ability to intervene, and occasionally, they could also put their whole heads over the body of one of the fighters, which was found effective in reducing conflict. One of the authors of the study, Giada Condorni, said they are also likely to use their snout. Since the nose is very important for pigs, not only for communication and exploration, but also for social interaction. Humans do the same. The study says usually bystanders intervene after a conflict by approaching and making physical contact with one of the fighters. Cordoni describes this solution strategy involving a third pig as a triadic conflict mechanism, reports the Washington Post. The study marks the first time it has been observed in the species, previously identified only in humans, wolves, primates, and birds.
Ants are pretty amazing creatures when you think about it. They work in a cohesive unit and they're incredibly strong for their size. But now a study has discovered that their uncanny synchronicity mirrors a neural network. Researchers were looking specifically at the decision-making process when ants would choose collectively to leave their nests, raising the temperature until the ants effectively packed up their larvae and left. And they found some interesting things. They discovered that the larger the number of ants in the nest, the higher the temperature had to go before they would leave, meaning there was something at play preventing larger groups from leaving sooner, despite the individual ants' comfort levels clearly being exceeded. And the researchers say this excitatory and inhibitory response is very much like a neural network, where the collective sensory response differs from the individual, in the same way it takes a particular number of neurons firing to get the brain to take action as a whole. The scientists running the experiment say they're still not sure how the ants communicate this eventual collective response, but believe it could be via chemical, pheromonal messaging. Octopuses are incredibly intelligent creatures, with some pretty unique skills. They have camouflage to disguise themselves from others, and if that doesn't work, they can blast disorienting ink into the water for a quick getaway. But if even that doesn't work, a new study has found that some females will throw objects at those they want to leave them alone. The research was done just off the coast of Australia, in an area so densely populated with the cephalopods, it's been dubbed Octopolis. And over the last 6 years, researchers have recorded the creatures throwing things at other octopuses, and most of those doing the throwing are the females. Here's what the researchers had to say about how an octopus throws things. Force is not imparted by the arms, as in a human throw, but the arms organize the projection of material by the jet. But why? Well, they believe the lady octopuses throw things at males to ward away their affections. And they're not a bad shot either. Of all the recorded instances of females shirking away their own kind, the octopuses hit their targets 33% of the time.
Pretty cool stuff, huh? Okay, let's get you the answer to that trivia question now. At birth, how much can a baby elephant weigh? Is it A, 100 pounds, B, 160 pounds, C, 200 pounds, or D, 260 pounds? The answer is D. And yeah, you're right, that definitely is one big baby.